Howdy folks, it's Rev Todd from Primitive Guitars. Last night was Tuesday night, guitar night, and this is what we did. She is pretty. We worked into the wee hours, or at least wee hours for me. Got her 99% done. We just need to do some fine tuning, so Patrick's going to come over tonight. So anyways, here's a video of what has happened so far. It's about our most in-depth one as far as building goes, so take a peek. So Patrick is working on this little beauty right here, which was a diatonically fretted guitar or neck, but somebody wanted a fully fretted, so he has gone in and I initially did the neck, and then he went in and put a couple extra frets in. And I'm in his way. He's like, get out of my way. But so now we're finishing this up. So this is that golf guitar that we built was such a success that our friend now wants another guitar for herself. So I built some necks ahead of time, so Patrick's customizing it for her, because we can do that, right, Patrick?
Oh yeah.
So put some wood in the corners here for the guitar that our friend wants. Because Patrick and I have decided that this guitar is happening tonight, so and I'm sure Patrick's wife does not want him to be here all night long, so we will see how this goes. All right, so Patrick is in full-blown fretting mode here. Pretty sweet. Using all Gitty parts. Because, of course, that's the way we roll, is all Gitty parts.
Of course.
Not that anybody would have noticed, but I'll point it out. This one right here was a little bit fat. So what we're going to do with that one is he's going to just dab a little bit of that Gorilla Glue on there, and we'll shove it down in.
With a toothpick.
With a toothpick. Yeah, toothpick being a big part. Anyway, she'll be beautiful. But I love it to see you doing this, because I showed you how to do it and now you're doing it and it's freaking awesome. So Patrick's finishing up the fret job there with the Gitty angled file,
which works wonderful.
All right, so she's getting close to being done as far as the neck goes. So what are you doing now, Patrick?
So we're putting in the, I guess you'd just call them eyelets for the tuners. So once we get these hammered down in.
So we got the corners glued up on here. Patrick has now done the holes, and we are going to start to put tuners in, or Patrick is. And she'll be beautiful. Pretty soon we're gonna put a hole in there for the neck to go through, and she's gonna be awesome. So Patrick, what are you doing right now?
Alright, now we're just cutting the slots for the strings to come in, and we're getting close to being able to maybe put the neck on the box and get her stringed up.
Nice.
So right now I cut down the sides to make room for the neck. So right now we just use the tool that we use to cut the ends of the fretboard, and just, you know, most of these boxes are just easy enough. You can just crimp it, since we don't really have a good tool to try and cut across. If I'm good enough. I'm gonna snip that right at the white line there.
All right. So what you're doing now is just what, holding it, or
just holding it about where it's gonna need to sit, so I can mark about how much I need to take off, and I'm gonna start a hair back farther than I think it needs to be. That way, just in case either for some reason I don't sit it just right on the saw blade or whatever, just the misjudge, I'd rather just cut it a little longer and have the ability maybe just take a little more off than have to try and add anything in.
Yeah, you can always shorten, but it's harder to add.
Yep, it's always harder to add. So that's what we're gonna do. You'll have to ignore the laser because it is not accurate.
It's not accurate at all.
In any way, shape, or form.
No.
Now we have, we had to mark where our screws are going to go through the box to hold on to the neck. And so basically we had to figure out how thick the box itself is, and then we had to compensate for the braces that are in there. So basically just, you know, figured out that that's about 3/16 of an inch plus that piece. Kind of just used a scrap piece with that measurement and pretty much just got a decently accurate spot of where we're going to stick them.
And then the reason you're drilling these holes is actually to hold the neck on, right?
Yes.
Just explain what you just did to pick out that drill bit, because it wasn't even a matter of what one you should use according to our little cheat sheet. It was the one you should use according to what?
What screws you were going to use. So you handed me the screws that we were going to use for that. So I pretty much just kind of lined her up there, made sure there was just a little bit of meat still left on that screw and enough for the threads. But if you don't pre-tap these, I mean, you're just going to end up splitting the wood, and it's going to... You'll either split the wood or you will strip the end of this because the wood's so hard that it just won't get in there.
Or just knock the head off, which I do a lot on mine. This is hardwood, folks, so, I mean...
It's solid hickory.
It's good wood.
Yeah.
So now what's happening is Patrick is basically, because we have in here, if we remember, some wood blocks in the corners. He's got the neck down now, and we're doing the neck that's on the bottom end of the box. That's kind of the way I typically do them. And so he's now, you can't even see, but he's put two little holes in there. But the holes are actually to grab this neck and pull it up to the box. So she holds right
nice
there.
And tight. So hit a little snag. My little block measurement, whatever, was just a little off. So we ended up being a lot closer to the edge than I would like. This one is fine, and I don't really care how close they are together because we're going to pre-drill it, so that's okay. So we like to use, if I can get it out of my hands there, these eyelets for the screws to sit in. So basically what I'm going to do is the eyelet will cover up the mistake, if you'll put it that way, and we can just drill a hole right next to it, enough that the eyelet, between the eyelet holding and the piece of wood, it doesn't affect anything on the box to have an extra little hole there, and this will just cover up.
And she'll look beautiful and be more solid than it would have been before. Yeah. Because she still would have worked before.
Yes, it still would have worked, but I'm not comfortable with where the screw would have been.
We don't do that.
Even if it was kind of in, that's just not, I don't like that.
Yeah, so. We don't roll that way.
Nope.
So Patrick's putting it back in. He just drilled the new holes.
Yep, we drilled the new hole just off to the side of it. Drilled the holes all the way through the neck so that everything will hold, and now we can just put the eyelets in and
see where we're at.
See where we're at. We got those screws in, and it is solidly attached now. But because of the nature of how we build our necks, with the angle and whatever, and this box being a very thin lid, we ended up with a pretty big gap. But we were able to take some scrap wood that we have laying around and just shove that up on in there, and we'll secure it down and it'll hold it. Alright, so now that we've got this, we gotta figure out where my bridge is gonna sit and about how high it needs to be. So first off, if you kind of look, this is a 20-inch neck. So we can see the 20 inches is right at the first O, or that, I guess, only O, in imported. So that kind of gives me my general position. So the trick to trying to figure out your bridge height are these quarters. You throw them on there. You can then take a wants to sit in between those. So basically that gives you your height of the strings off the neck. You can take a yardstick, line that on there, let them sit there. You just kind of hold that, and take my piece of zebra wood that will eventually be the bridge, sit that right at that O, and you can kind of get a rough idea about how big it needs to be. A general shape going for the bridge.
He's got the good air mask on and everything. We're good.
Here we tested her again, and again we're still just.
She's not bad though.
It's pretty close, but I want to go just a little bit shorter. All right, so now we just need to make our holes to shoot the strings through, and basically the way I'm going to do that, just try and get it as close as possible, is taking another piece of, well, botched fretboard. If I just kind of hold that parallel to mine here, get it lined up. We have one of c.b.gitty's neck noting templates here that just kind of has a good niche. We put our own little marks there for where we want our strings. So yeah, this gets me pretty well lined up, and then from here I can just make my marks where I need to drill my holes. Alright, so now we're just getting the eyelets put in there, just a little something better for the strings to ride on so it doesn't like start to wear through the box. But these tend to be pretty kind of loose in general. So all we're going to do is I'm just going to take a little dab of super glue here and just kind of put that around the rim.
With what, a toothpick?
Yep, we just dip a toothpick in there so we can kind of better control how much is in there. And then just... Alright, we're just going to release the box from those supports so that we can open it up and put the strings through. Alright, so we got it open. I figured while we're at it, I should probably drill the sound holes. We're going to do this one fully acoustic, not electric. She just kind of wanted to go for more of the true traditional cigar box guitar style, no modern stuff whatsoever. So yeah, we're going to drill some sound holes for it and get her stringed up. And she'll be ready to play. Alright, so we're just finishing getting her all stringed up and she'll be ready to tune.
Thanks for watching so far. We'll put up another video of the end result and I'll play it and all that good stuff. Please subscribe to the channel so you'll know when that happens. Have a great day.